along with growing up comes some growing pains, but if your child's involved in sports, how can you tell if their pain is normal or if it's an injury?
We're joined now by Dr. Brant McCartan with the Milwaukee Foot Specialists to talk about the top mistakes parents make with their kids' feet. Good morning.
Good morning.
Feet, I said feet.
Like
Good morning, doctor. Yes.
Good morning. How are you ladies doing today?
Good, thanks. Thank you so much for being here. This is a great topic, I think.
Yeah.
We're just grilling them during the commercial break.
So many questions because so many people, have questions about the shoes they wear, their feet, the pains, the aches they get. But when it comes to kids specifically, growing pains are something a lot of parents hear about. I remember having growing pains, and you think, oh, it's just a natural part of growing up. But how do you know if it's something more and it's maybe not just natural and normal?
Exactly, and a common myth of growing pains is that every child has to go through it as their bones get longer. But really, growing pains are more muscle aches in the legs and in the calves, and it's typically after an active day. And the child complains of soreness, and it can even wake them up in the middle of the night, which is very scary for parents and for children. However, growing pains is more a diagnosis of exclusion, meaning that other causes of the pain should be ruled out first.
So, for example, what are some other causes of the pain that you try to rule out first?
Definitely. Well, developmental flat foot, if you notice that by age 4, your child's feet are still flat. We're all born with flat feet, actually. We're actually flat and floppy, but by the age of...
Some of us still are.
Yeah.
Very good. I thought the comedians were the first segment.
Yeah, no idea.
But nonetheless, if their child's 4 or 5 and they still have feet that are flat or sticking out, it's something that should be addressed because they don't have to live in pain, and they may not tell you that they're in pain. Typically, a child won't mention that, but you take your child and toddler to a pediatrician's office for well visits. They monitor milestones like if the child's rolling over or if they're crawling and scooting and walking. But once your child is talking and walking, it's really up to the parent to keep a watchful eye. If your parent likes to be carried all over, or after a short walk they like to be put back in the stroller, that could be the first sign of foot pains. And this could even lead actually to adolescence. For instance, if you are, your kid doesn't like a certain sport or says they're not good at a sport, it really could be because they're struggling with their foot pain and not telling you.
Will it always lead to pain, and do you have to continue checking their foot to see if it's still flat?
I think it's good to keep a watchful eye, like I mentioned before, but some children can grow out of the foot pain, but a lot of foot problems are actually progressive, meaning that they get worse with time. Key examples definitely being flat feet, bunions, and hammer toes.
All parents I know are going to resonate with this. I can never get over the cost of shoes for my kids, whether it's a good pair of tennis shoes or when they're younger, a good pair of toddler shoes where you go to the shoe store and you have them fitted. How important are good quality shoes, and how do you find a pair that you know are good for your child's feet?
Definitely. The most important thing about shoes is not cost, but rather fit. Your child will know if the shoe is too tight, but I see more problems where the shoe is actually too loose. How often does your child slip their feet in and on without untying their shoes and tying them back? That's very important for stability. In addition to that, I think that there's been a couple studies, one of which was done by the Special Olympics, and they screened athletes and found that 40% are wearing the wrong size shoe. This didn't actually only occur for special athletes. This also happened in injured athletes of the Chicago Marathon. Same study, marathon runners, high-level athletes, 40% wearing the wrong size shoe.
Wow.
That's a staggering number. I mean, and you mentioned Special Olympics. You have done some special fitting for people who are in the Special Olympics.
Yes, I've been honored to be actually a member of their Fit Feet program and help screen their athletes. And I'm actually having a screening next Friday, I think, the 25th for all athletes. Doesn't have to be Special Olympics, but any school-age kid, 8 or under, I'd be happy to screen their feet and notice if they have any problems or pains, for sure.
It's wonderful. It's good to catch it early, like you said, too. Is there some evidence that shows if you take care of something early on that you can even prevent an injury as kids turn into adolescents, teenagers, and then adults?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. And I mentioned before that a lot of foot pains are actually progressive, meaning that they get worse with time. However, a custom device like this, which is a custom mold of your foot, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, it's hard on the one side. Actually, it's kind of hard on both sides. It's not squishy.
Sure, exactly. And this actually is a direct mold of your foot, and this can actually help slow down the progression while your foot is actually maturing in your child. Or, for instance, it can help take away a lot of your pains.
Okay, so here's the back of it, and this is custom fitted for a child's foot. So here's the heel back here, and their foot sits in it like that, right?
Exactly, and it slips into their shoe, and it's not very obvious, and it's actually very comfortable, helps with the pains, and can help slow down some of these problems from getting worse.
What about the other two that you have there? Sorry, Tiff, that you have on the table there, the red and the green one.
Sure, not everyone needs necessarily a custom device. These are more, as you can see, kiddie orthotics. They have a nice deeper heel cup for the foot to sit in, and that actually controls their motion as they're walking, which can help them if they have decreased balance or coordination, can help them actually be almost like a better athlete and help muscles that are working too hard, help them relax and be more efficient at endurance sports and running.
You probably got a lot of parents thinking, have I looked at my kids' feet? Am I doing the right thing? So I know you've got that fitting. I want to make sure everybody knows about again, because there's a chance for you to come out and have a free foot and ankle screening with Dr. McCartan for kids under 18 on October 25th at their Tosa office. That address is West North Avenue. It's right near Mayfair Mall. And again, it's Friday, October 25th. Space is limited, so you should call. Here's the phone number. It's 414-375-0187. Again, 414-375-0187 for the free foot and ankle screening with Dr. McCartan. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, and one more thing. If you guys can't make that screening, you can find a lot of information on our website, MilwaukeeFoot.com.
Perfect. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for being here. Good information for parents.